Hey, are you thinking about moving to Las Vegas or Henderson here in Nevada? Maybe you've done some research on Henderson, you know, all of the great things. I love Henderson. I live in Henderson myself. But maybe there's something still holding you back, and maybe you wanting to see things from the other side of the coin. In this video, I'm going to go through some of the reasons why you might want to reconsider moving to Henderson, as it's not for everybody. And I'm going to get into it right now. So obviously, guys, I love Henderson. I live in Henderson myself, but I do know people that don't enjoy Henderson. My business partner, he's a big Summerlin fan. He loves the Summerlin area and the whole of the west side of Vegas. He hates Henderson. Whenever we are talking about Henderson or in Henderson, he's like, Peter, I don't know what you see in Henderson. It just doesn't feel right for me. And he often gives me many reasons. And some of these reasons, you know, little bugbears of mine and my family, or things I've heard from my own clients as well. But Henderson is a great city, one of the safest cities in the whole of the US, one of the safest, largest cities in the whole of the US. Decent schools, lots of great outdoor spaces, located to the south of Vegas. But I'm going to cover some of the reasons why you might want to reconsider and why that might not be your paradise now. So the first reason is going to be the cost of the homes in Henderson. On average, the homes in Henderson do cost more than their Las Vegas counterparts. Now, obviously, there can be some caveats to that. The likes of Summerlin, for instance, and Southern Highlands, their prices are going to hold pretty strong. But Henderson has some really great communities, the likes of Anthem, the likes of Seven Hills, the likes of Inspirada, the likes of Green Valley Ranch, Lake Las Vegas, and their home prices on average will be a lot more than the average price of a Las Vegas home. Think on average probably about another 40, 50,000 for a single family home. That's comparable. Maybe the neighborhood won't be comparable, but certainly the home might be comparable. Certainly more than 20,000 extra anyway. So somewhere between that 20 to 50,000 extra, you know, for the home being in Henderson. And then you sort of have a rough ballpark. Rents on top of that are going to be obviously a little bit more expensive as well. And in general, the cost of living is a bit more expensive than the rest of Las Vegas. Las Vegas is above the national average, and then Henderson is above that as well. So if, you know, Henderson is on your list, it might cost you a little bit more for the privilege of calling Henderson home. But I think it's well worth it, and I don't mind paying it, living here, that's for sure. The next reason, and it sort of flows from the cost of the homes in Henderson, and that's going to be the size of the lots. On average, some of the lot sizes in Henderson can be quite small, and that really does put some people off. There has been a lot of new construction over the last 10 years or so, 10, 15 years, and a lot of the new construction homes tend to have smaller lot sizes and smaller yard sizes than maybe their older counterparts. Green Valley, though, obviously is in Henderson. Whitney Ranch is in Henderson, and they're more older communities, and they would have larger lot sizes. So if that is going to be something that is going to bother you, then you definitely need to reach out on the details down there below, and I'll be able to help guide you. And if you say lot size is important, but you don't mind if it is a modern home, on the outside, once it's maybe fresher on the inside, then I can definitely guide you in the right way, in the right directions. But it's important to know exactly what it is that you're looking for, because without knowing that, I won't be able to help you. But then some of the modern homes, even them lot sizes might not be as large. Still, they are going to be a decent size compared to some other homes. And you are going to run into that problem in parts of Vegas as well. Now, obviously, some parts of Vegas will probably have larger lot sizes, and the cost, you know, per square foot is going to be lower. Certainly in the north area of Vegas, the northwest and North Las Vegas itself, some of those lots are going to be a bit bigger than the ones down in Henderson. So it all just comes down to what it is that you're looking for. And when I do say they are smaller lots, I don't mean they're going to be tiny little things that even a dog wouldn't be able to walk around. Just maybe not, you know, sitting on a great sized lot where you could have maybe a basketball court or half a soccer field or something like that. But I think it's definitely doable. The next reason is going to be the HOAs. Some of the HOA communities in Henderson are decent. They are pretty good, but there are some HOAs, and I'm not going to name them. And maybe, again, if you want to find out the ones that I'm not so keen on, you can reach out to me and we can have that conversation offline. You know, some of them are not so great. Some of them, you know, they charge quite a lot and they interfere in your business as well. But that is not the same for all HOAs. I want to put that out there right now. There are some HOAs that are really fantastic. They really do look after the homes that are in their community. But there are some, and if you've lived in a HOA community, you know the positives and the cons about being in a HOA community. You know the whole premise of a HOA is to protect the property values within that community. And on the whole, they tend to do a good job. You can drive through a community that doesn't have a HOA and drive through a community that does have a HOA, and you can straight away feel a difference. If you've seen any of my community tours on the channel, you'll definitely see the ones that we do that are HOA as opposed to non-HOA. You'll definitely see the difference when I do the drive-by shots for them. And that all goes into your property values. My bugbear with some of the HOAs in Henderson is they interfere in your business maybe a little bit too much, maybe pulling you up on stupid things. And again, you know, it's not all of them. There are just one or two that give a bad taste of it. And yeah, there's going to be same with those in Las Vegas, but then there's probably, in terms of a concentration, there's probably less of them in the Las Vegas area as opposed to Henderson. So if you really, really detest HOAs, then there's probably only going to be a small number of areas that you can really, you know, neighborhoods that you could really move to within Henderson. And again, reach out to me and I can have that conversation with you. The next reason is going to be it's, you know, quite far away from a lot of the freeways. One of the fantastic things about living in the Las Vegas area is our freeway system makes it so easy to get around town, so easy to access the Strip and the airport, which a lot of large cities, it's hard to get to the main center, and certainly main airport as well can be a bit of a trek, a bit of a journey. One of the good things about living in the Las Vegas area, though, as I said, is the freeway system makes it a lot easier. And I always talk to clients and I always say sometimes your proximity to the freeways is going to be important. And I'm not saying be sitting right on top of a freeway because nobody wants that. But definitely being able to be in a, you know, relatively close drive. It takes me 5 minutes now from where I'm living in Green Valley to get onto the 215, and it's, you know, it's a breeze from there when there's no major incidents going on. Some parts of Henderson, though, can be probably a little bit further away, talking maybe 30 minutes, up to about 30 minutes for some of the further out ones. We have two main freeways that run through Henderson. We have the 215 that goes across the north, and we have the 95 to the east. And getting on those from areas like Inspirada and Anthem can sometimes be a bit of a trek. Even Cadence can sometimes be difficult. Getting down Lake Mead Parkway with all those different traffic lights and those stops, you know, if you stop at every single one of those red lights, then it's going to take you quite a while to get back onto the freeway, even though it's not really far distance-wise, depending on where you are in Cadence. But the other neighborhoods, and, you know, they're popular neighborhoods within Henderson. Inspirada and Anthem are really popular neighborhoods, but they are so far away from the freeway access that sometimes it can add a lot more onto your journey. On the flip side of that, though, obviously Green Valley, where I am at the moment, Green Valley Ranch is really just right on the freeway, and then the rest of Green Valley and even McDonald Highlands really isn't too far away from the freeway as well. So again, it's always important to let me or whoever you're speaking to helping you on your move know that being close enough to a freeway is going to be important, because then they can talk through the different options on the neighborhoods. The rest of Vegas, because of the way the freeway system goes, doesn't really suffer from it so much, unless, you know, maybe you're tucked away in the far northwest or you're up past Nellis maybe, and maybe then it's going to be an issue. But the rest of Vegas doesn't suffer from it as much as Henderson, I feel. And maybe you like that. Maybe you want to be away from the freeway. I've just heard a lot of people moan about it to me and complain about it, so I want you to be aware. Okay guys, we're going to go on to the next point now, but before we do, just a little reminder. If you are enjoying this video or any of my other videos, then please go ahead and like the video. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm really trying to get to 1,000. Everyone that has already subscribed, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you and appreciate you so much. If you haven't, please just subscribe. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it definitely helps my channel grow, and I can't put into words how much it means to me. Thank you guys. The next reason why we're talking about getting around town is going to be public transport. Public transport in general in the Las Vegas area, I feel, is really not great, but I feel that the public transport in Henderson is really awful. It's really hard to get around if you're going to be relying on public transport. Yes, a lot of the, well, maybe the 1 or 2 buses go across maybe the main sort of areas of Henderson, but if you're living in some of the other neighborhoods, it's going to be very hard to get around. I used to work with someone who lived in Henderson and worked in Henderson, and she relied on public transport, and she needed 2 changes to get to where we worked at Galleria Mall, and it used to take her sometimes over 40 to 50 minutes, what would be probably a 15-minute drive if she had a car. And she was often late because if you missed the bus before the change, then it just throws out the whole schedule for you. So if you are going to be relying on public transport, I would say, you know, think again about how you're going to get around Vegas, and maybe choosing a neighborhood that's going to be close to your school or your work, or so you're not really commuting too far, or maybe now's the time to learn to drive. I know I'm trying to get my wife to learn how to drive, but she's quite happy having me as her chauffeur at the moment. And maybe if you need to cut a little bit down on your expenses of your home when you move here and purchase a car, then absolutely do it, because I think although the drivers here are crazy, and that's going to be a different point, maybe I won't cover that in this video, but the drivers in the whole of the Las Vegas area are some of the worst that I've shared a road with. I don't know what's going on these roads. As I said, that's for a different story. But the public transport here makes it very hard to get around. I wish we had some of the other options that other cities have for public transportation. Obviously in the center of Vegas, completely fine. But if you don't want to live right on the Strip or the downtown areas, then getting around is going to be difficult. And certainly getting around from Henderson on public transport is going to be quite difficult as well. The next reason is it's a very transient population. And my son has struggled with this. My oldest son has struggled with this, because sometimes he'll make friends and then either in school or in the neighborhood, and then the next school year, they're gone. And it's got to the point where it's almost affected him now making new friends, because he's like, Dad, I make these friends and then they just disappear at the end of the school year and they go to somewhere else. And it is sometimes a bit like that. And I know a lot of large cities have that as well. And obviously Henderson is a large city, but it obviously, it'd be nice to have a community where you've been together for a good while. There are, people here that have been a while. There's very few people that you run into that are born and bred in Vegas, so there are there. A lot of people have moved to Vegas from some area, and then for whatever reason, maybe they leave town, maybe they want to go closer to family, maybe they're sick of the summers, maybe they've moved for a job, maybe they've moved for school, because the school district here is not so great, although there are some really good schools. You just need to do the research on them. Whatever the reasons, people obviously move, even from the most idyllic places, people are going to move from. So I understand that that's just a part of life. I'm just, again, explaining from our side and from what we've experienced. We're thinking about moving, or we are going to be moving to Inspirada, because we want to be based in a real nice community that feels like a community. I feel that's lacking in a lot of areas of Henderson and Las Vegas. But in general, I think that the population is transient. I think, our next door neighbor had moved out and we've already got someone else, and that's only in 2 years of living here. So, it's the same, as I said, everywhere that has a big city and a big population that's moving. But I feel it here more, because obviously that's where I'm living. And then the final one, and this can be a pro for some of you, but for some of you, this is not a pro, and maybe that's why you probably look at Boulder City maybe as another option, is it's too close to Vegas. You want to be able to enjoy the Las Vegas stuff, but maybe Henderson is just a little bit too close. Parts of Henderson really border Las Vegas. Green Valley sort of borders Paradise, and Silverado is sort of on the borderline of Vegas and Henderson. So for some people, it is just too close to Las Vegas. And as I said, they look at maybe moving to Boulder City as another option. People don't want to be so close to the Las Vegas Strip and everything that comes along with that. Now, obviously, some of the neighborhoods in Henderson are going to be tucked more away, like Inspirada, like Anthem, like Las Vegas, and then you're not going to feel like you are so close. But maybe if you're living in Green Valley and you don't want to be close to the Strip and close to everything going on in Las Vegas, then that's going to be an issue for you. But for most people, as I said, they move here and that's what they want to be. They want to be close to the Strip. They want to be close to be able to enjoy everything that there is in terms of entertainment options. There's not a million entertainment options in Henderson. We have a couple of local casinos, maybe 3 or 4 local casinos that are worth going to. Other than that, apart from shopping and dining, there isn't too much. So some people do want to go and enjoy the entertainment options. I know we do as a family. We go and enjoy the entertainment options in Las Vegas. Some people want to enjoy it, and then some people just want to move to Nevada for everything that Nevada offers in terms of the weather, no state income tax, settled weather system, no real natural disasters apart from some minor earthquakes that don't really affect properties and cause too much damage. Maybe we get some smoke from the wildfires, but we have a really settled weather system, and people want to move here for some of the good benefits of living in Nevada, but don't want to be close to the Strip. And if that's going to be something that's going to bother you, then maybe Henderson isn't going to work, but there's definitely other parts of Southern Nevada that could work for you as well. And that's it, guys. That's a rundown of some of the reasons why you might want to consider moving to Henderson, Nevada. I know I haven't covered all the reasons. There's definitely a lot more reasons that I could go into, and You know, I'm happy to talk about it with anyone on the phone. If you want to reach out to me on the contact details below, we can talk about it, and then we can decide if it's going to be good for you. I'll always be honest with you, and those of you who have reached out can attest to the fact that I'm, you know, always transparent and honest, and will always give my honest opinion. I'm not just looking to close a deal. Yes, I am a realtor, but I'm not just looking to close a deal. At the end of the day, I'm in the business to make long-term relationships that work for both sides. So if it doesn't work for you, and I can give you honest advice, but if someone else you know is looking and you remember, Pila was honest and fair and really helped me decide what was best for my family, then, you know, that's still well and good as well. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Let me know if any of these are deal breakers for you, or let me know if you're living in Henderson and there's something you think I should have mentioned, because I know I have a list of things I could have mentioned as well, but I didn't want to make this video too long for you guys that are watching and really wanting to make a move here and deciding if it's going to work. So let me know in the comments below. Also, just a reminder, if you haven't already, to please like the video if you have enjoyed this one or any of my other videos that I've put out for you guys. And again, I'm trying to chase down 1,000 subscribers. It's getting closer every single day. If you can though, if you haven't already, if you can subscribe, I would totally appreciate it. You don't know how much it means to me to get to that 1,000. It will definitely help me get in front of more people and help more people with the idea of moving here and making a move to Las Vegas or Henderson. And that's what I love. I love dealing with relocation. I love dealing with people that are moving state and handling everything I can. So if you can, go ahead and subscribe. I will be utterly appreciative of you forever. And then just one final reminder, if you are thinking about moving here, please get in touch. You can give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, however you're comfortable, whenever you're ready. And until the next time, thank you guys for watching. Take care.